People, deluded, I'm back again. Yeah, man, you guys know I love young footballers and whatnot, and sometimes I get a lot of critics in my thing saying, oh, nobody wants to hear about you talking about these young players. These same people, then if you go through the comments, literally, I've left their comments, they're then saying, oh, yeah, you was one of the first to talk about him. No, I was not one of the first to speak about him, man. I was just watching a man, and if you just use your eyes, you can tell someone's a good footballer. Um, so yeah, haven't seen much of this lad beyond the reruns on. You know when you type in replay matches on Google and you can watch the 90 minutes of some matches again. Bar literally 2, 3 Boca Juniors games at youth level and things like that. I haven't seen much of. I cannot even say his name. Leonardo Balerdi. Balerdi. Let's just call him Leonardo. Anyways, Leonardo of Boca Juniors. Like I said, I haven't got extensive knowledge on him. I can't give you a list of what he's good and what he's bad at and things like that. Out of 100, I'd say 5 to 10%, and that's being nice in regards to knowledge of the guy. But in regards to what I have seen, it's easy to see why Barcelona wanted him in the summer and have been chasing him. It's easy to see why Juventus have joined the race for that. He's a good centre. He's a centre half. He's got good height. I don't know what height he is, but he doesn't look that short. Looks decent height. He's not the quickest, but he's got a decent pace in the recovery. Probably his most impressive aspect, and it's easy to see why he's going to Barcelona or linked with Barcelona. Is ball playing. He is right-footed to my knowledge, but I see him getting the ball, turning out, open up his body on the left with his left foot, doing it on the right. Good little part. He's a good passer, short and long range passing, very good. He's committed in a tackle, stays on his feet a lot, which is what I like to see as well, and he is fairly strong. Again, I haven't got a mad extensive list to tell you, oh, he gets caught flat-footed, he needs to improve his marking, but from what I do see, the positives are there. He plays for Boca Juniors and he's 19 years of age. So with that being said, Boca Juniors, he's made his debut in August, so he's still early in his career. Boca Juniors is not an easy club to play for. Some passionate fans, so he can deal with pressure and things like that. Obviously, if he was to go to Juventus, it would be good for him because he'd be surrounded by a lot of Spanish-speaking South Americans. And if you go to Barcelona, you're in Spain, they speak Spanish again. You're surrounded by a lot of Spanish-speaking South Americans. And you can speak, so you can clearly speak Spanish, so it'd be easier for you. You can see why, and he's got a lot of potential. And PK, he's been a good defender, but every year it's getting harder for him as well. The question marks are going to be asked, so I can see why they're linked with him. He looks like a good centre half. It might be easier for him to go down the Spanish route than to come to England at Arsenal. Clearly, I'm referring to in this video because maybe I don't know how the work permit laws and the red tape around that would work for him. Because, like I said, he's made one appearance for Boca Juniors. Not sure how many actual youth appearances he has for Argentina. So I'm not too sure of that. But then you look at Forsyth, who the Spurs centre half, Argentinian lad that they bought from the under-20s World Cup a couple of years ago. Probably was a bit more ahead in his footballing career and had a bit more standing in terms of a name than Leonardo. But yeah, they managed to get a work permit for him, so maybe it could work. From what I have seen, it does look, again, further scouting is clearly needed, further analysis is clearly needed. And you guys know I'm never here to say a man's going to be a next, this, that, and the third. But the signs look promising, and more time you're seeing now. If you don't act quickly, you lose out, man. And I believe typically South American centre halves have been shunned in the sense that, no disrespect to Otamendi because he's a decent centre half, but people would look at them sort of man there and say they're a bit erratic, they don't really know how to defend and stuff. And then you now see Davison, Sanchez, Gordine, Jimenez, it's coming up, and it's looking football nowadays. You need to act quick. And he looks like one. I'm sure Arsenal must have ran the rule around him, man, because, again, we're not really signing South American talents of such, but always linked with them, allegedly. If we're scouting Pavon, I know he hasn't played the amount of appearances that Pavon's played, but if you're scouting Pavon, by that logic, you shouldn't have a clue or indication about players that are ones to watch of clubs, or if the scouts have really done their job and they're watching from top to bottom, then they might have seen him, or they could have accidentally seen him. His debut in August, I can't remember who he was against, and I don't know if Pavon actually played in that. I'm not too sure if he did, but if he did, then I'm wrong. If he did, surely a scout must have discovered my man by accident then. And even if he didn't necessarily think, oh wow, we need to get this player, jot him down. We're clearly not going to get him, but personally, I feel we need a centre half. Socrates has made me feel at this moment in time that needs it gone down a bit. But You look at Mustafi, not Mustafi, so yeah, Mustafi, we don't know what we're getting with him. It looks like Emery's craving to keep a lot of experience around the club in the sense that he brought Liechtensteiner in. There's talk of Monreal getting a new deal, which is not necessarily a bad thing. I'm just making a point. Czech is still here on paper. Um, it wouldn't really be an age thing for Koscielny to keep playing at Arsenal and stuff beyond this season. But yeah, I think we need to be looking at a centre half. Clearly, the biggest issue you'd say here is he's extremely inexperienced at senior level, so he would be extremely raw to a degree. This doesn't necessarily make it facts, but we'd have to put up with probably mistakes. Probably needed to learn to concentrate a bit more and things like that. But he is one to watch or one to keep a lookout for, in my opinion. So yeah, man, there's not much more to say. Forgive me if I've got anything wrong. Definitely his name. Yeah, man. Leonardo, you're a good centre half, but I've butchered your name and I apologise. I don't like to get them things right. Might actually just have to go on one of them courses of pronouncing names, these mad names. But anyways, guys, DG, thank you for watching and rocking, man. It means the world. If you want, comment, like, and subscribe. I'm out.